Okay guys, here we are. We are back. Blue Orchid Creations here. I apologize that this is not the best angle, but I don't have a really fancy camera holder to put my camera like up here so you can look down at what I'm doing. I don't have a way to do that, so I just kind of have it perched up on the table. But here is the water slide that I warped to fit this tumbler perfectly. This is a 20-ounce skinny from MakerFlo. Unfortunately, for some unknown reason, companies do not make all of their tumblers exactly the same. So if you go get a 20-ounce skinny from Walmart, or maybe even from Stainless Steel Depot, it's not gonna be exactly like this one. So I had to engineer this water slide so that it fit this tumbler perfectly without any trimming necessary. What I'm doing right now off camera that you cannot see because I don't have the camera set up for it is I'm cutting off all of the white that printed. This is a full sheet of clear water slide. I got it off of Amazon, nothing fancy. This is clear, so even if I don't get all of the white, that's fine. But this is going to lay over the cup, and hopefully we're going to get some of this glitter to poke through. Now, I did treat this a little differently than you normally would with regular water slide. I went over it with a very, very thick coat of the Rust-Oleum matte clear spray. I let it sit for 3 hours, lay it down flat so that it dries evenly. 3 hours later, I then went over it with Plastidip spray. Make sure you use a mask when you spray that. I did not the first couple of times, and I started getting really bad runny nose, a lot of phlegm in my throat because I was inhaling all of those little aerosol plastic particles. That was not fun. Really, really thick coat of that. You want to just really glob that stuff on there. When you spray it, put it on your hand, spray it flat like this. That way you don't get any runs. It goes on even. And then set it down on a flat surface to dry for 3 hours. Then go back and do another light coat. So what we have here is we have our water, we have our tumbler, and I'm going to put this in the water. It's going to curl immediately. So all I do is just keep my fingertips on the edges, you can kind of see over here, to hold those edges down in the water. There's not a specific time that you need to do this. There's no right or wrong amount of time. You will start feeling that it doesn't give as much resistance, and it will actually start laying down on its own. You won't have to push the edges down. So we are waiting for that moment. And you don't have to put glitter under your clear water slide. You could just have any regular color. You could have just spray paint. You could have a base. But I'm wanting some razzle dazzle under here. Okay. Now it's gotten to the point where it will sit on its own and I do not have to force it down in the water. So we are going to let this sit until I actually start seeing the clear water slide peeling up from the paper underneath. We will come back, when that starts happening. You can kind of see it a little bit here, what I'm talking about, where that water slide is starting to separate from the paper. You don't want to wait too long because as you see over here, it starts curling in on itself. So this is ready to put on the cup now. Okay, so we are going to take this out of the water. Shake that off. I'm going to just plop that down, get this tumbler wet so that our paper has a little give when we put it on. Now I do it a little differently than I think people normally do. A lot of people like move it down and then they have their tumbler going and it spins and then they just like woof, right onto the cup. I can't do that. I actually prefer to manually take it off and apply it that way. I feel like I get a lot more control of the paper when I do that. And then the sides just kind of hang down. And then from here, my sole focus is just lining up this rim. Trying to get it straight as I go. I know some people don't worry about it until they have the paper all the way on, but I figure since I have this to where as you're watching it, it literally just lays on, no trimming, and there is a full wrap right there. Now I'm just going to kind of go through and be nitpicky, but I could literally leave it just like this. Obviously, make sure your wrinkles are out. With this kind of texture, it's not that big of a deal if there is a wrinkle because you can't really see it. Obviously, just make sure that your seam is pressed down really good, your edges are on really good, your bottom. But there you go. Here's a full wrap. You can see that holographic underneath the clear water slide. It looks awesome. I'm not going to worry about rubbing the water off because as it spins, this water is going to dry. This actually kind of looks like watermelon. There we go. Get that shimmer in there. But here is my Grinch water slide. This went on really easy, a matter of seconds. It all depends on personal preference. You can do it like other people do, where they just kind of let their tumbler do the work. I did try that initially, but I felt like I was fighting against the turner the whole entire time. I felt like it was turning way too fast, and then that just created even more wrinkles and just made it a giant nightmare for me. So it's really easy peasy. Like I said, unfortunately, all of the tumblers are not created equally, which is a damn shame in my opinion, because I would easily be able to create digital files for a full wrap, but the fact that every single tumbler seems to be different from every company, I would have to get every single tumbler from every single company in order to create the wrap that goes on the cup exact and perfect. So if you have 20-ounce skinnies from MakerFlo, I can help you out. That's not a problem. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. If you have a 20-ounce skinny from any other company, well, you're just kind of shit out of luck at the moment. But I will get there. I will, I'm sure. Eventually, if I get bored, I'll do it. Right now, I just don't feel like it. But short story long, here is the full wrap tumbler. Took a matter of minutes and it sets your stuff apart and it looks super dope. If you have any questions, post them in the box below. Other than that, I hope you enjoyed the video.